Imagine a world where, in order for you to ask your best friend to hang out, you had to go over to their house and ask instead of shooting them a quick text. Frightening, right? Most Americans are able to have the privilege of sending a quick text. A study done by Pew Research Center in 2013 shows that 91% of adults own a cell phone. Many people do not realize how far cell phones have come, from only being able to make calls to being able to send text, emails, and also being able to check social media networks. None of this would be possible, though, without the person who found the cell phone, and as the years pass, the evolution of the cell phone. But cell phones are not only used for good. When they are used improperly, they can have negative impacts and cause problems. How many of you know who invented the device that you use every day known as a cell phone? His name is Martin Cooper. He was born in Chicago, Illinois, and is an American pioneer and visionary in the wireless communication industry. Cooper worked at Motorola in the 1970s, and in 1973 came up with the wireless cell phone. He worked with a team of developers, and they did not bring the cell phone to market until 1983. Many people have considered Martin to be known as the father of the cell phone. He also was the first to make the first public cellular phone call. But if Martin Cooper was around today, he'd be very impressed with the cell phone and how the device has evolved and is able to do the unthinkable. With the technology that we have today, cell phones are more than making calls. They can be used as alarm clocks, calculators, stopwatches, and yes, even gaming systems. The phones that are capable of doing this are known as smartphones. Smartphones are able to download apps that would have features on them that original cell phones would not. In 2013, Apple users alone spent $10 billion on apps. But for users that do not have a smartphone, still have a feature that original cell phones would not. It is known as texting. Texting is sending a brief message to an acquaintance. The first text message was sent in 1992 by Neil Papworth, which read, "Merry Christmas." As great as the invention of texting sounds, it can also cause some problems. Some teens and even adults do not know when texting is unacceptable. When people abuse texting, it can result in tragic accidents. Many teens and adults text and drive every day. You may think you are capable of texting and driving, but you are wrong. Not only is texting and driving risky, but it is against the law. The penalty of getting caught texting and driving in Nebraska is a fine of $200. The fines vary from state to state, but the highest penalty of them all is in Alaska. If you are caught, you could have a fine of $10,000 or spend up to 1 year in jail. But texting while driving can cause more than just getting a fine or spending time in jail. It can result in the loss of a life, whether it's yours or someone else's. Mother Jones conducted a survey in 2011 saying that 385 people died in a car crash where a cell phone was involved. There were also 21,000 people injured in a cell phone related crash. This number should easily be zero if we do not abuse the privilege of cell phones. Today we learned about the mobile device known as the cell phone. First, we have learned who invented the cell phone and when it was brought to market. Next, we discussed the evolution of the cell phone. We saw how cell phones went from only being able to make calls and being able to send texts, and now they can be used for multiple things, like gaming systems, alarm clocks, calculators, and very much more. Finally, we learned that cell phones can be abused and when used in situations that they should not be, can result into serious injuries and even death. But when used correctly, cell phones are amazing things. The things they are capable help people daily, and most Americans may even feel lost if they did not have a cell phone.